Hello there guys, my name is A.D.D and I'm back, and today I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on how to build roller coasters on Minecraft. It's a very basic tutorial, just going about the ideas, the ways you can make roller coasters interesting, how to build them, how to create them, what blocks to use, that sort of thing. So we're going to get going into the video now, so enjoy. If you do enjoy the video, do leave your comments in the comment section below, of course, and rate the video at the end. So let's get going. So first of all, I thought I'd give you my credentials just to show my experience and to show that I know what I'm doing. For example, I've built three massive things so far in Minecraft to do with roller coasters. The first of which is a 6.5 minute long roller coaster. As well as that, I've built a theme park in my build world, which was very intertwined, and there are a lot of rides. They're very basic rides, but they're very good rides. And as well as that, my latest series, which is my theme park interactive series, in which I'm building a massive theme park with nuclear power station design rides, F1 design rides, mine temple design rides so far, and that's just the start of it. So that's my sort of credentials. You can see them going on in the background. So let's get going into the first tip. So the first tip I have for you is, what is your theme going to be? That will dictate what blocks you end up using. For example, if you're doing a Wild West themed coaster, then you'll want to use wooden blocks. They tend to look quite good, and fences, they tend to go quite well, gives it a Wild West sort of rugged theme. Or if you're doing an abandoned city, for example, the one I've got in my theme park series, grey and rotting sort of cobblestone blocks tend to look quite good, as well as a Formula 1 track. You've got the red and white sort of curbs, they tend to look quite good. And it gives you a marker to work with and something to dictate on what your ride's going to look like and how it's going to feel. Meaning you can create the right persona for your ride. If you use colourful blocks, it tends to mean it's going to be quite a nice vibrant ride that's not going to be very harsh on the body, whereas if you're using black blocks, then it's going to be really dark and gloomy, and it's going to be a really hellish ride, in all honesty. And every roller coaster you go to has got its own story based around it. For example, Thought Park have a new roller coaster in which it's based around sort of a zombie infected world with planes that have crashed all over the place. Or you've got Stealth, which is about race cars, because it just propels you off at such a speed and you go up and down very quickly like a race car. Now we move on to tip 2, in which I'm going to talk about entrances and the start to the coaster. You want your entrance to look just like the coaster itself. Use the same blocks, use similar blocks, keep the theme the same. You want the same theme to make people believe in the story you're trying to tell with your coaster. It's like a storybook, and it's really got to look nice. It's got to look. You don't just have to do the roller coaster tycoon style zigzaggy sort of entrances. You can use other entrances. For example, on my nuclear power plant, I molded it in with the creation I'd made within the nuclear reactor. The queuing bit goes in and out of the nuclear reactor. Modern coasters you'll see will go this way, so I would suggest implementing this to your rides. The next section of entrances is of course the start to the coaster. As you can see in the background, I'm building the start of the coaster. It is simply 2 blocks on top of each other with a button, a power rail, and then a normal rail, and then the power rail continuing. That means you can just get a simple start. Unfortunately, there's no in Minecraft yet to have a sort of station like minecart system, unfortunately. If you do know of a way, then do put it in the comment section. Now we move on to tip 3. We're getting through this very quickly and I'm very happy, so let's get on to tip 3. The coaster type. There are many different types of coasters. For example, you could have a wooden coaster, a jump coaster, a spiral coaster, a multiplayer coaster like the Formula 1 one with like 3 people racing each other around, or you could have a 2-player parallel coaster sort of thing going on where they sort of intertwine with each other. For example, the nuclear power station. That sort of thing is quite key, because you can sort of design a roller coaster that's either works in a way that for one person to go in, or you can do one for multiple people. Multiple people is more challenging, but it's quite fun to do, and it adds a different edge to it. This is quite a small tip, but it's quite an important tip at the same time. Tips are all equal in their equal diplomatic places, so yeah. Now we move on to tip 4, probably one of the most important tips. I know I was talking about diplomacy and all that, but this tip's better than all the rest because it goes on about what should be in your coaster. For example, do you want jumps? Do you want diagonals? Do you want falls? Do you want dips? Do you want a skateboard ramp? I'll explain that in a second. Do you want tight turns? Do you want long turns? I mean, for example, if you want to go diagonal, you've got to do zigzags and put normal rail over it. Therefore, you can go diagonally across, and actually speeds up the car. It's sort of the mysterious science of Minecraft. It's one of the crazy things. Also, falls and dips, a skateboard effect where you go back up one side and then back the way you came and then back up again and then back the way you came, like you're on a skateboard ramp. Sort of how I compare it. I don't know if I'm explaining it well enough, but you guys get the picture. You've got to do it, and you've got to really mix all these things up into one awesome coaster. That's what I've done, especially in the Mayan temple coasters you can see in the background. Now we move on to the final tip in creating an awesome roller coaster, and this is simply the exit. The exit should properly follow the same lines as the entrance, using similar blocks, or you could slightly change things a bit. For example, with my Formula 1 coaster at the end, I put the sort of finish line stripes along the floor. That sort of gives it a theme at the sort of end of the ride. This is the final bit the sort of customer will see when they come out of the ride. We're making this very professional, as you can see, and it's all very clever and to create the mood that you need to create with these roller coasters. So I mean, that's the final tip. You put all 5 tips together, you've got one hell of a ride ahead of you. So that concludes this tutorial. I hope it has been useful to you and helps you create awesome roller coasters in the future. And if you do create an awesome roller coaster, then do send me the video and I will look at it and I will give you feedback, because I feel I can. I feel like roller coasters are very interesting things and they're cool to make on Minecraft. Even if you want to see more of my roller coasters and more in-depth guidelines into them, then please do check out my theme park interactive series and my 6.5 minute coaster. Both will be linked on the screen as annotations. Rate the video if it was of use to you and you enjoyed it, and subscribe and follow me on Twitter to keep up to date with my videos. And remember, the sun is rising, so keep on surviving. I've been A.D.D. Thanks for watching and goodbye.